Welcome to the part 3 of my Python project where I'll teach you all how to make a password generator project using Python. Where I've used right now a Tinker module, and if you haven't seen the part 1 and part 2 of the video, I would recommend you guys to see that, since this part 3 is solely based on the part 1 and part 2 of my program. Okay, so right now we have created a simple text based program which will generate a certain random password of certain length provided by the user, and then we have created a tinker window which has all the basic ways and all the basic labels and all present in it, but it does not have functionality of the password generation and the hiding of the password. Okay, so now in today's video we are going to do that. We are going to create the functionality of these buttons. So without further wasting time, let's hop into the video. Okay, so right now what I've done is I've created my button here. Let me highlight that point, my two buttons here, and I've given them a command of numval. So if you remember, in my previous video I spoke about this command saying that we have to create a name it with a function, and we need to call the function up. Okay, and that function will do the execution of all the logic behind the button, working of our button. Okay, so I have done that. I've created a command numval and then I've just passed it, and now is gonna be the creating of the function of the button. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, first thing, we will delete this pass button. Okay, so we will delete this pass button, and now what we need to do is we need to create a global variable. Say that global, and we'll just call it as I don't know what to call it, global word. Okay, so the global variable can be used in different functions for the. So what we will do is we will say word is equal to name val. Okay, name val dot get. So what is this get method? If you do not know what it is, I'll just show you. What we had done in the previous video is we had created this event one, where I'll just show you again. This is the event one, okay, that we are talking about. This is the event one, and it denotes to this event where my cursor is present, and this event one is the place where we have to create the number of characters used for our password. Okay, so now when we type 7 and I click on that click here, this 7 is getting saved in this variable called as name val. Okay, so this name val is present over here in the event. This number 7 is getting saved in this name val, and now this name val, what we will do is, to obtain this number 7, we will put it in this function here, and we will say dot get. So we want to get whatever is present in that, and that will save it in word. And for the timing, I'll just print word, and I'll show you what happens when we run the program. Okay, stop and rerun. So let me type 7, click here, so it should provide here. Do you see this? 7 is got printed. So this part of our program is working perfect. Now let me type 74. I know it's not logic, but just checking so that the execution of this part works. Okay, so the first part is proper. We are getting the value. Okay, we are getting the value of the thing. So that is word. So that is now the first thing. Now what we will do is, we will, since when we are going to the range, saying that the length of the thing, we are putting it in a range, and that value of the variable should be a integer. But what is the value here? The type of the variable is string, right? So what I'll just do is I'll create it as an int int nameval dot get, and now let me just run it to check if everything is working perfectly. And now let me type 7 and click here. Yeah, it's working well. It's just that it's not printing since I've removed the print word. Okay, so everything is working fine for the timing. Now comes the part of our first program, okay, first video that we created. So what we need to do is, first we need to copy down this import string and import random, and we need to put that in this program. Okay, so now these modules are printed into our program, and now we need to, since we have already used this variable word, we will change it to another word, variable, call it as word, wrd. Okay, and now let's copy down this thing. This is the string that I've created, which I explained you in the previous program. So control C, and I'll save it in this function only. Okay, control C, control V, that's my word now. And now let me just copy down this whole thing. Now we do not need this question because we have already got this entry variable which is getting the word. Okay, so we do not need that. So now for the timing I just need this portion, this range variable. Okay, so control C and now control V. So for I in range, now again this, it doesn't know what is num. So what I'll do is, instead of keeping this as word, I'll just save it as num for better understanding. Let me just change it. Okay, global num. Okay, so now everything works perfectly, and we will just create this variable of passcode. We'll create the string. Okay, so here you go, I've created the string, and now I've created a passcode, and now let's print it. First thing, let's print it and check if everything is working fine. And let me run it, and now let's type in a moment of test and click here, and here we go, we get a string of 12 letter word. Wait, let me just check out the, okay, I typed 12, and okay, that was the previous one, excuse me. Here is the proper thing, it's got 12 lettered password has come. Okay, so that works perfectly. Moment of truth came successful. Okay, so everything is working fine. Now what I'll do is, now I need to, this password that is getting printed in a text ID, we need to, let me just show you. Okay, so we need this password. Now I'll just say 4. This password, we need it to be printed on this portion. Okay, so for that what we will do is, we will use another function called as set. Okay, so what is this set? First we'll take down the name variable of the other second entry. Okay, so that is name vals. Okay, name vals, and we will set it to our passcode. Okay, so it will get set, that whatever is there in that set function, that will get printed to our entry. Okay, so set passcode, it's pretty simple. Now let's run it. Let's use a 13 digit password. Click here, and here's our password. So that's it, we have done the main part of this whole project, that is creating a password generating thing. Now for a fun sake, for a better productivity of the program, when I click on this hide, this whole password should get hidden for security reasons. So now we're going to program that. Okay, so before other things, what I found out during these days, that if I import another module called as PyAutoGUI, this needs to be installed by using pip install the module name. So you'll have to open your command prompt, and you will have to type over here pip install PyAutoGUI. Okay, so you will have to do this, pip install PyAutoGUI, and then it will get installed. And first of all, pip should be installed. Okay, so that I've already done, so I'm not going to do that. So what I've done is, as soon as you import PyAutoGUI, I found a change in my program. Just check it out. Okay, you see the clarity of the program, the whole text, everything gets bright. It like literally goes, the clarity goes to high definition. Okay, so let me just show you again. Let me just comment it out, and now let me run. So you see the clarity, it's so blur, everything is looking blur. And now let me just include the module again, shift F10, and now you see the clarity, it improves like a 2-3 times more, which looks better for a program, and which is good. So I'm going to include this, and I still don't know what's the reason behind why does it happen. Maybe there's some documentation and implementation of in PyAutoGUI that improves the resolution. So I'm going to keep that, which will improve the visuality of my window. Okay, so now I have to create this program, this function of hide. So what this hide will do is, we'll just simply hide the password. Okay, so now again we will just create a new variable, say as pass, and we will call it as name vals dot get. Okay, so it's getting the password from the name vals, and that many time, how big the word is, that many times the stars have to get printed, right? So what I will do is I'll just create a new variable code, and I'll create it with a string that is my star, okay, star into len of my pass. So that much length of my password, that many times it will get multiplied and the star will be present, okay. So that should suffice the meaning that I've been trying to explain you all guys with. Okay, so why is this showing this error? Let me just check what I've done. Have I written something wrong? Pass. Okay, so something looks weird right here. Name vals, everything is looking good. Have I? Yeah, I've created the string also. um, what does, okay, so everything is working good. So I just changed the variable to pas, and everything looking fine. I think so I've used this pass term somewhere else or something, I don't know. So you could just name it anything. And now what we will do is, there's this button that we have used over here, I'll just copy it down, okay, control C, and I'll put this whole button again, but I'll create a small change in it. Instead of hide, I'll click on show, okay, so that will change, okay. And now let me just run this program again, and everything should work fine in my case. Okay, so how many characters do you wish your program to password to be? I'll say 9. Click here, and here we got our password. So we can just copy paste it, whatever, control C, control X, and it gets copy pasted. Let me try it again. Click here, and this is our password. And now we want to hide our password, so you just click on hide. It did not work, okay. So I've created a small error over here. Let me just check what has gone wrong. Okay, so I have not set it into a new password, okay, to the new code. So what I'll do is name vals dot set, and now I'll put in the parenthesis code, because I want the code to be set, the hidden thing, okay. So let me try it again. 10. Click here. Now I got a password visible to us. As soon as I click on hide, the whole thing should be whole password should be hidden, and the star type of code should be present, okay. And here you see everything worked fine. The password got hidden and stars got visible, and here instead of hide we got a show button, okay. This is working perfectly, everything is working fine, no issues whatsoever. Let me just cancel this thing out. Let me just delete this. And click on hide again, and now let me just try again 6, and here you get this value, okay. So everything is working perfectly. Let me show you the first program that I have created. Okay, so this is a program, and I have successfully created this whole project, and we have done this simple password generator project. So if you guys like this project, do let me know your response regarding this project, what you liked in this project. If there could be any changes in it, do let me know. I will accept any type of change, let it be a positive change, anything whatsoever which will improve the visuality or functionality of this program.
So thank you for watching this video.